Welcome. I will now continue with the bank account exercise, and it is divided into 3 steps, and I will do 3 separate videos for these steps. So in this first step, then I will create a bank account. To model a basic bank account, this class should have attributes like account number, account holder name, and balance. I should implement these methods, the methods deposit and withdraw, as well as a method to report the account details. And I will also create another class with a main method to test my newly created bank account. I will continue to solve with the solution of this exercise in the same project as I created for the first exercise. So the project walkthroughs will be used here again. And let me start by creating a package. I will call it ac.hkr.bankbms for Bank Management System. And this package will include 2 classes. One, bank account class, and I will also create another class called, let's say, BMS for Bank Management System. This BMS class should then have a main method, and let me now paste code from the exercise description, which includes some code to create new bank accounts and to test the bank accounts. So here I will just paste that code copied from the exercise description. And this is actually can be a good way to start creating new classes by looking at them from the outside and describing the methods that you want to call on this this class and what you want to do with the class. So here we see that there's a lot of red code here, of course, since I haven't created anything, any methods or any constructor for the bank account class. Here, for example, I need to create a constructor. So let me just press Alt, Enter. And it suggests that IntelliJ suggests that I should create a constructor, and I will do that by pressing Enter. And here is the constructor call, or sorry, the constructor. And it has 2 arguments, and they should not be called Number and Lisa Nilsson. They should have other names, so let us rename these to something else. The name should be account number and account holder name. Okay, that was the constructor. Let me go back now to the main method and to the deposit method. I press Alt Enter and I get suggestions from IntelliJ saying that perhaps we should create a method called deposit, and that is exactly what we want to do. I press Enter. Here it actually got something wrong. It's not the fault of IntelliJ. It couldn't know that I want to use doubles here. I want to be able to deposit a decimal number, not only integers. And we call it amount. Let's go back to the main method and back down to withdraw. I press Alt Enter again. I press Enter again because I agree with IntelliJ that this class should have a withdraw method. Again, I changed the type of the parameter to double, and I call it amount, like that. And now there is only one method left, the display account info. I press Alt, Enter, and then Enter again. And this looks correct. So no red code here. So at least the interface of this class or the public methods are properly defined, and also the constructor is properly defined. So let us now turn to how they should work. When we construct or create a new bank account, we supply the account number and the account holder name. And of course, we need to store these values inside the object. And for this, we need fields to hold these values. So we need a field, and it should be private. That is the default access for fields that we create. A string, account number, and another string, account holder name. It should be string. So these two fields we need to store the incoming data from outside, account number and account holder name. But we need one more field, and that is the balance, the account's balance. And that should be a double, because the balance could be, it is a number, but it is also a decimal number, or potentially decimal number. So now in the constructor, we need now to transfer the data from the arguments to the fields of the object. So this dot will give me access to this object's fields, and this is the field account holder name of this object, and I will assign it the value of the incoming account holder name. So this account holder name to the right is the incoming account holder name, matching this name up here. These names could actually be, they don't have to match. These two names here, they don't have to match. Now they do, and that is usually the case. If they hadn't matched, if we had called the argument just name, for example, then we change the name here, and then we wouldn't need to have this dot in front of account holder name. This would have been okay to do it like that. But because of the name collision we had before, when we called name here account holder name, because of that name collision, where we have two variables in the same method called the same thing, then we need to differentiate them by using this dot. Let us go back to what we had. We should call it account holder name, and like that. I'll do the same for the second, for the second field, the other argument, the account number. Do I need to initialize balance? What value will balance have if I don't initialize it here? I could write balance equals 0, or just balance equals 0. That is fine too. I could write that, but that would actually be meaningless, because 0 is the default value for each number field, that is integers and doubles and floats, shorts and longs. So I don't need to initialize balance to 0. It will become 0 anyway. Let's go down to the deposit method. What should it do? It should take the amount coming from the outside as an argument here, the double amount. It should take that amount and increase the account's balance with that amount. So if my account has 500 of something, of some currency, and then I deposit 300, then the balance should be 800 after that. So let us increase the balance by using this plus equals operator, which is the same as balance equals balance plus. So this is what we want to do, but it is shorter and as clear to write like this, or as clear, perhaps that is a bit depending on your knowledge about Java and similar languages, but this is a very common operator, at least, the plus equals operator. That is deposit. Quite simple. What about withdraw? Let's look at withdraw. When we want to withdraw, we can't just do as in the deposit method. We can't just subtract the amount like this, because the amount could be larger than the balance. The amount that the user wants to withdraw could be larger than the balance, and we cannot allow for that. The bank will not allow withdrawals that are larger than the current balance. So in order to withdraw an amount, we need first to check that the balance is actually larger than or equals to the amount that the user wants to withdraw. So, and if this is true, we can then withdraw or subtract the amount from the balance like this. And we could also add a message or write a message to the console if we couldn't withdraw this amount because we didn't have funds enough in the account. So we could then write insufficient funds, like that. That is the withdraw method. Let us now go down to the display account info. It should just display all information about this account to the console window. And we have three pieces of information here. We have the account number, we have the account holder name, and we have the balance. So we should just print these pieces of information to the screen with some text to state what kind of information each variable contains. So we print the account number, and account number. We print the account holder, and last we print the balance. Balance is balance. And I could have used, instead of print ln or print line, I could have used printf instead. That would have given me some options to format the balance. Perhaps we want to say or print it with 2 decimals. Then I could have used the printf and added a placeholder inside the string saying that I want to use or print the decimal with two decimals. But I'm okay with this right now. So this class is done. Let us go back to the main method and run this to see if it works as it should. Okay, we have 3 accounts, 3 account numbers. The first one, the first account is for Lisa Nilsson, and her balance is 1,000. And let's see, is that correct? Yes, up here we created account 1 for Lisa Nilsson, and this is the account number, and then we deposit 1,000 of something into this account. So it should contain 1,000 as a balance when display account info is called. Second, we create a new account for Lars Andersson. We deposit 1,500, we withdraw 500, and when we then call display account info, well, the balance should be 1,000, and that is what we have here. In the third instance, we have an account for Laban Karlsson, and we try to first deposit 2,000, which succeeds, but then we try to withdraw 3,000 from this account, and this fails. And this would mean that we still have 2,000 left on the account when this method is called. And this is actually what we see here. We have 2,000 left for Laban Karlsson's account. We also see that we got this message, insufficient funds. Yes, that was the first step. So I will conclude this video here, and I will continue in another video with the next step in this exercise.